Dr. Porlantia, thank you. Looks like you've shared your data sheet with us after just giving an assessment on the last unit.
Yep.
You should take us through that.
Okay. So for my history of the hipster class, we are reading The Dude Abides by Jeffrey Lebowski, and he outlines a lot of information about what a hipster is. So one of the things we did as we read those chapters, we pulled out quotations and logged them, so students had access to some of the key quotes. And then I wanted them to write a paragraph citing strong evidence and analyzing how that relates to the concept of the hipster. So that's my standard. Are we keeping time?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep, you're on.
And so they need to cite strong and thorough evidence and support analysis of what the text says. And so I've looked at all of their paragraphs, assessed them. Students who met or exceeded expectations on the rubric, they chose thorough quotations that were relevant to the topic, and their analysis was also relevant to the information in their quotation. Students who did not meet or exceed failed to provide context leading up to their evidence, or they did not include a sufficient quotation. So maybe they only included half of the quote and they needed to add more to it.
How did students know if it was sufficient or not before this assessment?
So that was something we did as a class. We were pulling out quotations and either writing them on the board or writing them in Google Docs. So they were sometimes doing Cornell notes in the notebook. So they had 2 or 3 different places where they were tracking quotes throughout the unit.
Okay. I see also that you've shared where your students, which bands they fell into, and you've highlighted ELL students, students on IEPs, and students designated GT. So that's helpful. And based on that information, what trends do you see and what's your plan?
Well, I was pleased. I mean, it's early in the year, and a lot of students met and exceeded expectations on this first paragraph. And so I was excited about that. I am a little bit worried about the kids who were falling behind. And so I've got some ideas of how I want to reteach to those kids, but I'm also not exactly sure how I want to do it. So I have some questions for you guys. So if we're looking at the plan, for students who are below, I need to reteach context and give them more practice and checks for understanding. I also need to make sure that they make revisions and corrections to this previous task. For students who meet or are above, it kind of just leads nicely into the next cycle. We're going to add a second quote to a paragraph, and then they're going to have to relate 2 quotations together. So they've already learned how to pull a quotation and analyze it. Now they're going to have to compare and contrast it with another piece of information. What I am confused about, and maybe you guys can help me with this, is how do I get the struggling students to revise their work? I don't know when I can have them do that. If I assign it for homework, they won't do it, or they're going to say that's not fair because they're the only ones who have to redo it. If I do it during my warm-up, they're going to miss the warm-up, which is a key part of my class. I don't want to do it during reading time because that's also something everybody would do as a whole class. So I'm not sure how I can just get these students to revise their work. Do you guys have any suggestions?
Well, looking at what you've broken down in your data, I do notice that there's a spread of ELL students. And a possibility could be is that you create some grouping that intentionally puts some of those students together. Maybe what you think could Frida pair up with Hassan, since they are both designated ELL. Do you think that would be helpful for them to communicate in a group setting and have them then revise and resubmit?
Yeah, so kind of maybe strategically group some kids together who are higher and lower, and maybe put some of the ELO kids together.
It's a thought, yeah. I think it would be helpful.
Yeah, I think that would work. And then just have them each, as a group, they're revising each what they wrote in that paragraph. So everyone's going to resubmit it, even if they did a good job, they'll just revise it, and maybe they'll make less change.
Yeah. So what did you provide so that the students have a clear idea of the criteria to meet or exceed expectations?
So, yeah, we have this pretty extensive rubric, writing rubric, so I gave them that, which has all of these different criteria on it. So just asked them to make sure that they checked everything out before they submitted it.
Good, I'm glad that they have some criteria to check their work against. It might be good to create like a student-friendly checklist. So, because this can be a little bit overwhelming for students, so if you put this into student-friendly language and made it into more of a checklist, and then they can use that during their peer editing time when they're revising, they're not only going to be checking their partner's understanding, but as they go through that, they're going to be checking their own understanding.
Okay.
And then that's a good way for you to check their understanding.
So I like that idea because it's going to hold everybody accountable, and it'll even give kids who did a good job to sort of check or make sure that it's perfect. But when can I do it? I feel like we've already finished this. I want to move on. I've got my next cycle planned and ready to go. Like, when do I teach it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we all struggle with that. We do need to make sure that these students who aren't understanding the material are able to meet or exceed expectations before you move on to something else.
It's really important that what we do is all based on what outcomes students are producing. And what you presented as data is that not all students are yet producing the type of work you expect for your SLO. And it seems necessary to figure out a way to take some more time before moving on, so that everybody's mastered that skill and can achieve.
So it's okay for me to slow down and reteach?
Definitely.